Many problems can arise when using a BPO service provider. Find out the possible BPO risks and the best solutions to solve them with us. Risk 1. Inaccurate definition of task areas. In the business process outsourcing industry, there is often a disconnect between the expectations of clients and the reality of what service providers can deliver. This is partly because many clients do not understand the task areas that can be outsourced. As a result, they may set unrealistic objectives for their BPO providers, leading to frustration on both sides. To avoid the disconnect between the expectations of clients and the reality of what service providers can deliver, clients need to understand the task areas that can be outsourced clearly. Outsourcing comes with its own set of challenges which may not always be manageable if they're outside one's control, so make sure this was worth taking beforehand by consulting someone who knows what they are doing firsthand. Risk 2. Lack of expertise in outsourced tasks. The risk of things getting out of hand when dealing directly with outsourcing teams comes down mainly due to their unfamiliarity within specific industries, which could lead both parties towards complete isolation from each other since there would be no shared language used across departments. When you are not experienced enough to handle a situation on your own, rely exclusively on those who have been through it all before. Maintain ongoing communication and regularly evaluate processes for the best outcome possible. Risk 3. Choosing the wrong BPO service provider. There are many problems with using BPO service, including looking at what kind would work best based on how big, small the needs need solving within the organization. Some ways can help you choose the right BPO provider. Expertise. You might want to hire someone in-house who will define requirements and monitor the vendor's work more accurately. But if you can't afford another worker on staff, be sure to find a trustworthy enough company that understands how the workflow works. Experiences. An experienced vendor can walk you through the necessary processes and help you avoid potential bottlenecks along your way. Real-life operational capabilities. Knowing which customers the provider already serves and their workflow generally looks like will help you determine whether they can prioritize your requirements sufficiently. Professional support and trustworthiness. Cross-check with reputable review resources like Good Firms or Clutch, and visit vendors' homepages before making your decision. Optimization strategy. To continuously enhance process flows, a BPO provider should suggest an appropriate optimization strategy for their clients' outsourced operations. Risk 4. Selecting the appropriate outsourcing approach. The 3 most popular outsourcing models are: time and material contract. A company pays an agreed-upon amount for labor or materials needed to complete each task in the time and material contract. There are times when the fixed-price model becomes inflexible when outsourcing comes into play. With this approach, you as the client provide all requirements for your project scope, deadline and budget, so there aren't any surprises or extra fees due to changes in development plans last minute. Fixed-price contracts. Fixed-price contracts set out all details up front, including costs related to overhead, such as rent on space used by contractors who work exclusively during project hours. Dedicated teams. Dedicated teams are put together specifically by experienced staff members with expertise in specific fields so they can finish tasks efficiently without distractions. Risk 5. Hidden costs. If you want to avoid hidden costs, ensure the contract is clear about what will happen if they occur. Suppose a statement stipulates that an invoice must be submitted ahead of time and permission granted for additional expenses before we charge them from our end. In that case, there won't ever be any surprises. The cost of a contract can sometimes come at an unexpected price. Make sure you know what to do in this situation before it becomes too late and your business depends on the outcome. Risk 6. Misunderstanding cultural context. The solutions are that organizing diversity awareness training programs for your staff and conveying values and norms to freelancers is an excellent way of outsourcing without sending any mixed messages. Ensure communication channels between all parties run clear so there are no misunderstandings or conflicts in the workplace. Risk 7. Poor knowledge transfer. When working with an external vendor, you should create a detailed knowledge transfer plan so they can grasp the project. If this is not enough to convince them of your regulations and standards for quality assurance, then organize calls or meetings as necessary. Risk 8. Poor management and communication when outsourcing. You should ensure your team members are on board with what you're working towards and often communicate so that everything runs smoothly. When possible, have meetings in person as well if there's anything about how things need doing differently or better for future reference. But don't forget tech tools like Asana, because they'll help keep everyone informed from afar without having any direct contact whatsoever. Risk 9. Obstacles from BPO contractual and legal risk processes. If there is not enough standardization, different countries might have to sign additional papers that they don't need for their location's legal system. These issues begin after contracts have been signed. You must do everything you can to ensure your BPO providers are worthy of the trust. Make them sign agreements with specific terms, including security issues if necessary. Risk 10. Change BPO partner. The consequences of a failed BPO project are serious. If you want to change providers, make sure that any new contracts have exit clauses in them, so there are no damages if things go wrong. When considering the contract for service changes, you should consider intellectual property rights and other issues. For example, what will happen with your data if there is an emergency where providers need to be changed? Are they able to do so without turtles? These questions can help prevent problems when changing providers. Many challenges come with outsourcing, so choosing an agency you can trust is essential. A reliable vendor has enough cases proving their expertise and positive feedback from clients. Not just one or two people but entire teams dedicated to helping walk through each step of your process so there won't be any surprises down the line.